Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Gotham. 4J Studios has released the second title update for Reforj on the 25th of June. It's not a major update, but still it has a new feature in it and several improvements and some fixes. So we're gonna go through the patch notes and I will show you some examples of the changes wherever I can. So let's dive into it. So the updates contains one new feature and has several improvements and some fixes. So let's go through them one by one, starting with the new feature, which is the material picker. So the material picker lets you select the element that you're looking at. What that means is when you're in survival and you press the left D-pad watching the element that you want to obtain, it will highlight that element in your hotbar. But mind you, you will have to have that resource already in your inventory, else it won't work. So when you have birch, you select the left D-pad, you will get the birch in your hotbar. Obviously, this will also work in creative. But given the fact that in creative you already have all resources in your inventory, you will always get the element highlighted in your hotbar. So that's the only difference between those two. But that's actually quite a neat feature when building, because it lets you select elements quite fast. This is the only new feature in this update. So the focus of this update is more on the improvements and other fixes. So let's get to the first improvement. And that is that items now spin in your inventory when you highlight them. It allows you to better see which item is highlighted, and it's a nice graphic user interface update. I think it does add a little bit to the interaction with your inventory space. What do you think? Do you like this feature? It also works in crafting, by the way. The next one is the updated aura campfire effects. That way it's more clear which one has been set as your respawn point. This is an item that they already promised that they would have updates for it. The only shame is though my request has not been implemented yet, because the campfire does not really give a light. It doesn't function as a light source yet. It does show with a flame which one is active, so which one is your active spawn point. But I also hope that they will also include the light source as well. As you can see, the torch does give off a light. So the next item is that mobs can now be scanned using the scanner tool. So for instance, this tunnel scout, you can scan it. Though I won't advise you to do that when in combat, because it might cost you your life. Here's an example for the kibi. It's a nice feature, especially when new mobs are introduced. So the next update is that all game user interface has been reduced in size. So for instance, the health bar at the left hand side and the sculpting is smaller. I haven't found really other elements. Maybe this inventory screen and crafting screen is a bit smaller, but this is what it looked like. And I believe the selector tool was actually kind of similar in the previous version. But it's a small update, but it leaves more room for the game itself. And the next improvement is that sprinting can now be toggled off by pressing the left stick. So in first person view it's more obvious than it is in third person view, but it does work. I hope that the next update will also include crouching. And now we move to the other fixes. So one of them is that decorative items can no longer be replaced when placing other elements next to them. So let's try that out. I have a purple butt layer here, some stone. Try though I might, I'm not able to replace it. So I guess it's working. The next fix, although maybe not really a fix, is that 4J Studios removed the animation from the menus because they want to make them better. So actually not really a fix, but rather a temporary solution to something that they don't like at the moment. So look forward to what they will make. The next item is that players used to be launched backwards when they spammed during the loading screen. So let's try it out. I'm spamming like crazy, and if the fix works, nothing will happen. You saw me jumping, but I didn't go backwards. So it works. Then the next one is that mob can no longer spawn in the same space. Difficult for me to show you, but we have to assume that fix will work. The next fix is that the camera should now be smoother when walking up the stairs. And actually that's quite an important one. I had issues with that one when I was building my watchtower. If you haven't seen that Let's Reforge episode of All Along the Watchtower, check it out. It's a 3-part series where I show a watchtower build entirely in survival. So anyway, during that build I also built a lot of stairs, and I also had to walk a lot on them, and I always would get stuck. So let's see if that has changed. So this is the tower, and let's see what happens when I walk on the stairs. The bobbing is much less. It's more fluent. It still could use some tweaks, I think, but this is way better than it used to be. This is a good fix and will definitely help enjoying the game better. Yeah. Thank you, 4J. So the next one is that fall damage is now taken when slipping off the edge of an element from a height. So let's experiment a little bit. I've prepared this site, and we're going to jump off each block to see what it does. So let's do the first one. No damage. Second one then. Also no damage. The third one then. Also no damage. Fourth one then. And that does a little bit of damage, but only slightly. So let's speed it up and try some higher stairs as well. Do only minor damage at that one. I wonder what the logic is in terms of build up of the damage. Because we're getting less damage than I might expect actually. I also wonder at which point you would die from falling. This one was quite harsh. So let's now try it on the 23rd block. So this is 23 high from ground level. Not from eye level 0, but from ground level. And that will kill you. Maybe just another thought in this regard, because we now fell from grass. You might think that the material that you drop on has some influence on the damage that you take. I haven't experimented with that yet, so maybe that's something I need to check out, whether that's present already. If not, it should be in there, I think. Let me know in a comment if you know whether this is in the game or whether you think it should be in the game. So let's go to the next one. The game no longer gets stuck when attempting to respawn far from an active or a campfire. I haven't experienced it for myself, but we can try it out. So we're now at 2123 X and 1773 on the Z axis. So let's move to another spot. So we're now far off the original spawn point. So let's switch to survival now, so that we fall to our death and then see whether we spawn back without the game getting stuck. And it works. So the bug fix has been implemented correctly. These were all the changes of Reforj Title Update number 2. It is not as dramatic as Title Update number 1, where the corner sculpting was introduced. But it is still progress. There's a lot of improvements in this update, and several bug fixes, and even a new feature. And it shows the commitment of 4J Studios to really make this game better. And they are listening to the community. So thank you very much 4J for this update. I really enjoyed it. This concludes my video for today. If you have any subject on Reforj that you would like to see in the video, leave me a comment. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like, it really helps me. And if you want to be notified about future uploads, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. So for now, I say farewell and see you the next time. Thank you very much.